Russia is a country that plays by the realist playbook. And I believe that the United States, for most of the post-Cold War period, has operated according to a different playbook, the liberal playbook. So when NATO expansion first surfaced as an issue in the mid-1990s, the realists in the United States said, and George Kennan was one of the most prominent voices in this regard, the realists said NATO expansion is a prescription for really big trouble, because the idea that you can take a military alliance that was a mortal foe of the Soviet Union and march it up to Russia's border is asking for big trouble. Because the Russians are going to be playing according to a realist playbook, and they are going to see that as a threat, okay? But in the United States, the realists lost the debate, and the liberal internationalists won. And their view was that great power politics of the sort that I describe, the realist worldview, had been put on the scrap heap of history. Liberal internationalists who dominated American foreign policy believed that people like me are dinosaurs, or to use John Kerry's terminology, we're products of the 18th century, okay? We're old think, right? We live in a world of new think. Liberal internationalism, where the United States, this benign hegemon, can take NATO, can take the EU, right, and push eastward right up to the Russian border. And the Russians will accept it because they understand that realpolitik is dead. You talk to Michael McFaul, right? I've debated Michael McFaul. I've engaged with him in foreign affairs. You talk to Michael McFaul, who is a thoroughgoing liberal internationalist who believes that people like me are dinosaurs, right? And he will tell you, I told Putin, I told his lieutenants that NATO expansion was not a threat to them. And I would say to him, and what did Putin say? And he would tell you that Putin said that's not true. It is a threat to us. But I would explain to him again, it's not a threat. Now, what's going on there? Michael McFaul is not interested in expanding NATO eastward to contain Russia. He does not believe that Russia is going to conquer Ukraine or that Russia is ready to jump into the Baltic states. He's a liberal internationalist who wants to spread this liberal international order further and further eastward. And he will tell you, ultimately, it's possible that Russia could become part of this liberal international order. So he's not thinking like a good realist. In fact, he's dismissing realism. But the problem, from his point of view, is that on the other side is Vladimir Putin and the Russian foreign policy establishment, which is playing by the realist playbook and sees NATO and the EU as a mortal threat. For a realist like me, great powers are very sensitive about their neighborhood, about their borders. They do not like other great powers getting close to them. You know, we have the Monroe Doctrine. You surely know about the Monroe Doctrine. The United States does not want any distant great power coming into the Western Hemisphere. You remember what happened in the Cuban Missile Crisis? The United States was apoplectic about the idea that the Soviets were moving missiles into Cuba. This is right next door to us. This is unacceptable. Well, doesn't that same logic apply to the Russians? Don't you think the Russians are going to be scared as NATO marches eastward? No, they're not, according to liberal internationalists, because great power politics is dead. Well, it was dead for them, but it wasn't dead for the Russians. And the end result is you got this crisis. So as remarkable as it may seem, I think that's exactly what happened.
Coming back to what you said before, power politics can revive in the United States if the other powers, especially China, rise to the level that the United States face this threat.
Just to pick up on your point very quickly, I sometimes refer to the period
gives
from 1989 up to the present in the United States as a holiday from realism.
Yes. Please.